Welcome to the Arizona Wildcats Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley, joined by Bruce Pascoe. Bruce, the Arizona Wildcats are 1-0 in Pac-12 play after beating ASU handily here on Sunday. Big road series coming up. They play Oregon and Oregon State. Neither of these teams on paper are necessarily world beaters, but it's tough to go to the Pacific Northwest. It's a long trip. What do you think the Wildcats have in store for them this weekend?
Yeah, I think Sean Miller said it best. He said today that it's they're all hard. They treat them all the same, and they really are, because every trip in the Pac-12's got one major challenge and sometimes two. And if you're not careful on that second game, like Oregon State on Sunday, that can also be a problem too. They have a lot of things to make up, but you never know. There could be an issue in either game, but mostly Oregon, you've got a rebuilding team that they've dealt with a ton of adversity. They basically had to revamp their entire roster plus Joseph Young they have back, and they did it. I mean, they're pretty darn good, and they're competitive. They play a lot of the same aggressive style, shoot pretty well. They're a tough team to deal with, and Arizona's been to that new arena there in Eugene twice now and have not won yet, so it's tough.
Yeah, like you said, Sean Miller talked a lot about both Oregon and Oregon State in today's press conference. Here's what he had to say.
We're looking forward to the Oregon trip. We expect two hard-fought games. Anytime you go on the road, it's difficult, but especially in conference play. And I think both of those teams have proven that they're very difficult to beat at home. Oregon State's undefeated at home, and Oregon has a tremendous record.
Bruce, another thing that really doesn't get talked too much about heading into this is the fact that it's a long trip. Arizona plays Thursday, and then they don't play Saturday, they play Sunday. Now, most people, I think, would enjoy an extra day at the Valley River Inn or wherever they're staying. But, when you're in charge of a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, there's no study hall because there's no class. I mean, can this be a distraction for a team that really can't afford any?
It could be. It could go either way. It could be a good bonding experience. I think the big difference here, of course, is they don't have school. So they're not missing class. They don't have study tables. If they stay at the Valley River, which they will for most of the weekend, there's a mall right across the parking lot. They have free time. They can go to movies. I don't know if they can go bowling or whatever, but they will do a lot of hanging out. And the question is that fun, or does that get boring? Do guys get on each other's throats or whatever? But I think it's probably a good thing. And the other thing that's fortunate for them is this is the only time this year they have a double road trip where there's 2 days in between, and last year all of them were like that, and Miller complained about it, and the Pac-12 rejiggered the schedule this year, so only this trip is it, and they're not even in school yet, so it's not a bad deal.
Sure. Who do you think Arizona might struggle with more, Oregon or Oregon State?
Well, Oregon is certainly the more talented team.
Yeah, they're better.
Yeah,
right.
And they've got no fear, and it looks like they're going to go right at them again. They've got the confidence. They play pretty well there in their arena, and again, they've beaten Arizona twice there, so that's something to watch out for. And Oregon State, they've got some rebuilding they're working on. They're better than expected, but I still think they're quite a bit below what Arizona has right now.
Excellent. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Arizona Wildcats Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. Don't forget Bruce Pascoe going on the trip this weekend, so follow him at Tucson.com and on his blog. Bruce, you get to see another Schaftenar this weekend. I'm jealous. Yeah. Olaf still on the team, right?
Right, and they're almost the same player. It's funny, you don't even notice, but that big 6'10" shooter out there, you got to watch out for, and yeah, apparently they like him a lot too.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it. We will see you next time.
Try this matchup: low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.